This has been quite an Olympic journey for you. Tell me how you're feeling today. What's going through your mind now?
I feel like I haven't had a lot of time to think about it. I mean, obviously, you know, with how things went, I just got to compete once in the Olympic Games. Would have liked to make an event or two, but last night was just super emotional, full of emotions. It was just crazy. Like, did this even happen? Like, we've prepared so long for this, and like now it's finally here. So seriously, like, I don't even know. It doesn't even seem like it happened. It's crazy. It's weird.
It becomes like a blur, right?
Yes.
It kind of and it happens so quickly. Tell me this, when the team is traveling to come to Tokyo, the choice was made to stay in a hotel, to stay focused, to skip opening ceremonies. Talk to me a little bit about what went into that as a choice.
Yeah. Such a bummer, obviously. I mean, I was an alternate for 2016, so like I never got to do that or experience any of it. Didn't even get to experience the village, and then it's like, this was the Olympics I had to make, you know, like with everything that's happened, it's kind of a bummer. You know, obviously they just wanted us to stay safe, and I'm sure you guys have all heard that, you know, one of our alternates tested positive for COVID. So when we were in Jutendo, that was kind of a scary moment. So we've really just been trying to social distance and stay away from everybody, which I think is smart at this point because, you know, we've worked so hard to get here, and I don't think we want anything to jeopardize that, you know, being around all the athletes and everything. So definitely a bummer, but, you know, hey, we're at the Olympic Games. It's happening. It's real.
Yeah.
So.
Was it nerve-wracking to get that positive test result within the group?
Yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I mean, at least for me, I kind of felt like, okay, I've been vaccinated, I had COVID, so hopefully, like, I'm good. But like, Simone and I were rooming together, so once we switch into our next hotel, we are in our own rooms, but we were rooming together in Jutendo, and she, you know, was crying. It was just, we're all shaking. We didn't know what was going to happen. So, you know, we definitely had to wait a couple hours till we heard stuff back. We couldn't train. So it was definitely just a mess. But, you know, we were able to like recoup and get our minds back to where they needed to be. And we did just fine.
Yeah.
So
I have to say, it has been a roller coaster to watch you ladies compete. I think everyone at home is rooting for the gymnastics team in particular. What was it like when that final competition, that final event, right, for you, and you were looking at your scores and you're like, oh, that's not gonna quite make it. What goes through your head you are an Olympian.
Yeah.
What goes through your head as a competitor, as a woman representing USA?
Yeah, I mean, I am an individual gymnast, and I have gotten better in the all-around. So for me, I really was hoping to at least make vault. So I feel like, you know, we started on floor, and the scores, you know, kind of were low for all of us. We're like, what the heck? Like, what's going on, you know? So we kind of had to like move forward. We went to vault, and then of course, you know, I saw the scores, and Simone and Jade, you know, were the top two scores, so they got in for vault. So after that, I was kind of like super emotional. I kind of started crying, and I was like, I don't think I could do this, because that was like one of my big goals, was obviously to make the Olympics. You know, that was the icing of the cake, you know. But I really wanted to maybe try to individual, you know, for vault and try to bring home a medal. You know, that would have been really, really cool, especially since I wasn't part of the team, which was devastating. So I think for me, it was really hard. I, you know, was telling Lisa, and, you know, Sarah was out on the floor because my coach couldn't be there the whole time. I was like, I don't think I can finish the meet. I was like, this is so hard, yeah. And, you know, bars and beam aren't my strongest events, so like, it was, you know, nerve-wracking, and we already had so much pressure on ourselves because prelims, that's where you qualify for individual events and team finals. So it was like, I feel like we all just, you know, put way too much pressure on each other, and it was just a crazy night. I was like, well, since we're at the Olympic Games, I want to finish strong. You know, this could be my last competition. And so I was like,
Did
you
you
never
really
know.
think it would be your last competition?
Yeah.
We're not Olympics, but like you're.
Yeah, I'm done.
Really?
Yes, I'm retiring after this. I mean, who knows? I could make a comeback. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, never say never.
True.
But yeah, I was like, I just want to go out there and end on a good note and say I did everything I could, you know. And you never know if, you know, someone falls or whatever, so you just want to be able to go out there and do your job. So after, you know, hitting that beam routine last event, I was like, that was definitely worth it. Like, that was seriously so cool. And, you know, beam hasn't always been my favorite thing to do. And, you know, I feel like I struggle with it sometimes, especially going out and competing a good routine. And it was cool to hit every single skill, finish that dismount, and just have my girls standing there cheering me on. And we're just so happy that I was able to go out there and do that. So
you talk about
cool.
the support of your girls, even rooming with Simone. We saw the tweet that she was like, okay, listen. I mean, it was a hardcore shout out to you, some serious love. What did it feel like to see that? I mean, she could have easily just loved on you and
Right.
kept it moving.
Yeah.
But to see her really call some attention, pull some attention to you on social,
Yeah.
how did that feel?
I texted her that night and I was like, I'm crying. I can't keep it in. And she was like, I talked to her this morning and she was like, I was about to come into your room, but I was like, I'm just gonna let you be, soak it all in, you know? So yeah, definitely a lot of tears shedded last night, even from everybody on social media. Nastia tweeted at me and just so many people. It was just so overwhelming. But I mean, Simone and I have been through this for a long time, and you know, just to see us grandmas, you know.
But can you tell me how we feel about grandma? What do you really feel about that?
We are old for gymnastics, so I do consider us grandmas. Our bodies hurt, we're tired, and we have freaking did it. Like, I don't know how I've done this. Like, Simone and I are like, our bodies are broken, we're done, we're ready to move on. So just even to make it here is, you know, such an honor. So
Tell me this, do you guys have, you have to have, I imagine, that like pre-match, pre-meet huddle, right? Where you ladies just get together, you center, you focus, you support one another. Is there like a prayer? Is there a chant? What's the deal?
So I feel like at 2019 Worlds, we did a huddle a lot, but I feel like I said, the pressure was definitely on. So usually kind of before the meet, we stand in our lineup, and I think it's just really good. Laurent, which is Simone's coach, stands there, talks to us, gives us a couple words of wisdom, and I feel like that kind of just calms us down.
Like,
and then,
what would be the words? Like, what would be some of the...
You know, just go out there, do what you've been training to do. You know, we're ready for this, we're prepared, we're mentally and physically going to go out there and just do what you've done in training, you know, and just little things like that really help. But one thing that we did do is we were playing the Eye of the Tiger, and, you know, I was singing, and we got the flute and different things going, and we were just whipping it out. We're like, we're so ready for this. We were so pumped. So I think just little things like that keep us going and, you know, keep us really strong to be able to push through the meet and having that team spirit and just getting pumped and ready to go.
The uniforms mean a lot this time around. The crystals, the embroidering, the shapes. What did it feel like to put it on for the first time?
They're so beautiful. I remember at Olympic trials, we got to go back with GK and we did a little photo shoot in the Leos, and we got to see them in the whole process. They talked about it. And, you know, like the black one they wore for podium was supposed to be like the Olympic torch. So there's just a story behind all of it. And then the one they wore for prelims yesterday was kind of like the recycled fabric, kind of like the Olympics is like with the recycling fabric. I don't know, different stuff that they're doing. And so that was really pretty and cool. So they're all very unique in their own different ways. So kind of sad that the last one I got to wear was the red one, but it was still beautiful.
Yes.
But it was seriously, the story behind them is just beautiful, and the creations and everything they came up with they're just amazing. They're stunning, so beautiful.
They're stunning. I
Can't go wrong with any of them, you know?
Now tell me this, and I'm gonna let you go on this one. You know, this can't have gone necessarily the way that you would have thought, right? What is the thought now that's pushing you forward? What's the belief now that's pushing you forward?
So I've been talking to my sister and my husband, and, you know, even though it's been so devastating, you know, for me, they're like, well, you know, looking back 2 years ago, you know, you came back and you wanted to try for the Olympics, and you made that goal. So that's just the most important thing. Like, you're an Olympian, no one can take that away from you. So for me, just looking at that outcome and saying, like, I did it, honestly will stick with me forever. So I'm just, you know, so grateful I got to be at the Olympic Games and to be in Tokyo and to represent Team USA and myself has been such an honor. So it's going to last with me for a lifetime, and I get to say that I'm an Olympian. So here we are.